Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your Soul Sunday reading. Simple spread, 3 cards, one for mind, body and soul. So let's get started. Universe and angels, messages and guides, my higher self, I call upon you now to give me a clear and accurate reading for the sign of Capricorn. Please let me tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Please let me be the guide and show them what they need to see. Starting with mind, 1 card for mind, body and soul. You have a lot of cards that want to come out, Capricorn. So not surprising, there's a lot of messages. Spirit, Eddie, can I just have 1 card for mindset? There it is. Number 11, the divine order, equilibrium. And there's actually a cheeky one behind this, 3 of hearts, joy. Of course you get 2, Capricorn. I swear you guys do this each time. You come in and you're like, give me all the messages. Definite twin flame energy here for some of you. Can I have a card for their body? What's the most important message they need to know about their body this week? Thank you, Spirit. Please show me 1 card. Acceptance. I'm trying to remember which Gemini got it, I believe, that same card. So Gemini could be quite prevalent in your life. 1 card for their soul. What's their soul message for this week? Please show me. Soul message for Capricorns this week. There we go. All right. Repetition. This doesn't surprise me with all the kind of eclipse energy we've had going on. So hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so 2 cards. The divine order, equilibrium. Is this traditionally, where's the book? What's it called? Justice, right? So this speaks about trying to find balance. And I think this is where you are mentally this week, Capricorn, okay? It's trying to find balance between good intentions, advice, trying to bring everything into alignment. And I'll read it from you from the book and then I'll break it down for you, okay? The angel of the divine order brings all into balance. She holds the earth in her hands in perfect balance and closes her eyes to judgment. Her wings match the colour of the sun, giving us the opportunity to shift our perception and see a situation in its entirety. From here, you'll begin to understand that there is no right or wrong, for a thing or an event is not good or bad in itself. It's only through opinion and context that something may be judged. The colourful background may seem chaotic, but if you look at it through the eyes of love, you'll see the divine order. So this is really speaking to about finding balance, I think, when it comes to your thoughts, right? And it goes on to say, the divine order shifts your footing, so you must look at every aspect of your life from a fresh perspective in order to restore your balance. Step back and weigh up all sides. Keep shifting your viewpoint until you feel centered, and only then make a decision. You can heal a situation by balancing the negatives with the positives. An imbalance can be reconciled through a loving response. You're being asked not to take something so personally, but to step outside of a situation and see the bigger picture. All things come from love. The scales are finding a way to return the balance, to return to love. So, and then coupled with the 3 of hearts, this is quite an interesting mix, right? So, hearts in this deck represent cups, and the 3 of hearts can often represent a few things. It can represent having a good time, like partying in excess, spending a lot of time with friends and family. So maybe for a lot of you, you're thinking about how to find the balance between maybe some fallouts that you've had with friends. But this can also represent your mind, body and soul, and then particularly because we're doing this reading here about finding the balance, which is, look at the irony in the tree trunk there with the 3 hearts. It can represent third-party situations when it comes to love. So third-party situations are not always negative and cheating, but it can be like yourself, your partner and your child. It can be yourself, your partner and their family. It could be your family, their family and you. It's a whole range of different things, right? But at its core, it's about spending time with people that we love and having a good time, trying to find the balance. And Capricorn, if you haven't seen it yet, I'll put a link at the end of the video. Your 2019 annual forecast for this year is epic. One of the key themes for you, other than, you know, preparing to step yourself into great fame and fortune, is about finding the balance between working your ass off and having a good time and enjoying yourself, enjoying life, right? We're here to experience life in all its many forms. And that's what this card is here to remind you about, trying to find that balance, okay? It's easy for us, if you guys don't know, I am a Capricorn sun, and it's easy for us to get caught up in what we feel like is the momentum and where we're going in our purpose, especially for the few Cappies that have had it really challenging and trying to build their finances and their wealth up again. But this is a card that asks you this week to let go a little bit and have some fun, okay? And it goes on to say, from the body of Mother Earth, a tree grows and dances under a sheltering Father Sky. This is a celebration of joy in all its beautiful forms and manifestations. All aspects of the image are working in conjunction with each other to become love and bliss. The three hearts are seeds of loving potential that move with the growth of the tree. The more you expand, the more pleasure and love flow to you. Enjoyment can come from places we don't expect. This image opens you up to all of the delightful possibilities of love. Isn't that beautiful? And then it goes on to say, the Three of Hearts invites you to lighten up and be playful. What did I say? What did I say about playful? Give yourself permission to have fun. In the coming days, you'll be asked to attend or become otherwise involved with a celebration. Honor the energy of celebration and you'll begin to experience it elsewhere in your life. Be swept up in feelings of euphoria. Let the festivities lift you to a state of elation and breathe joy into your dreams. Celebrate everything in your life that has brought you to this moment. The universe supports you in love. You have the freedom to create a heaven or a hell here on earth. What will you celebrate today? Beautiful. So exactly as I said, finding that balance between what you need to do and create in the world and having fun with friends. And then your card for your body is acceptance. So this can be quite shallow and it can be quite deep. So acceptance of whatever it is that you're struggling with now. And to be honest, Capricorn, when I was meditating, I didn't get anything come through strongly. In almost every other reading, I had a physical thing come through. So nothing that I was getting this week. But what's come up is the card of acceptance. So it speaks about trying to find peace within an unsettling situation. The key thing with this card is it's similar to going with the flow, right? Just accepting your body for where it's at. If you've eaten too much over the festive season, accepting that you've gained a little weight, who cares? If you are struggling to still put on weight equally, who cares? Just keep doing what you're doing. It's a week of just accepting where you are, okay? And it goes on to say, acceptance doesn't mean that you desire or like what's going on, but it does mean that you're willing to come to peace with it. God and the angels hear your prayers for a healing resolution. They're now asking you to surrender the entire situation to them through the process of acceptance. And then it goes on to say, this isn't a time to resist or force anything. Speak your mind openly and honestly, yet at the same time, find the balance of grace and acceptance. There's that word for you again, Capricorn, balance, right? The equilibrium, trying to find the harmony. And it says, hang in there as things are improving. Keep giving your worries to God. An unforeseen positive event is on the horizon. So, Capricorn, one of the things that I talked about a lot in your 2019 forecast is about trying to really not get caught by overwhelm. When we're inspired and when we're really achieving and we know we're achieving, we know when we're in flow. Often what tends to happen is the scales of balance tip one way so that we're all focused on work and not having fun. And then it's somewhere in the end of that, that's when we start to go, oh, now we need to focus on health and bring that back in. Just for this week, give yourself a break, Capricorn, okay? Enjoy, celebrate, have fun. Just accept where you're at this week. It's a really important message. And then finally, for your spiritual, your soul message, you receive the card of repetition. This is all about cycles, okay? And it's very much for me, if you have a look at the illustration on the card, very aligned to the moon and the sun cycles, which at the moment this year, we know that there's so much going on. And hopefully you guys survived the recent lunar eclipse in Leo, because the energy for me was mental. Anyway, the book goes on to say, a sense that history is repeating or somehow repeating, a chance to do things differently and perhaps secure a better outcome. To work with or break a cycle, you need to recognize it first. Release stress, tension, and anger before it builds to a storm. It may be necessary to walk away from a challenging personality. This could be about changing your friendship circles, Capricorn, as well. Difficulty breaking a habit or a pattern of thinking. Establish a positive routine. Through infinite cycles of life, death, and rebirth, our souls stretch into timeless repetition. All the while, your thoughts and actions draw from the past and feed into your present. The journey repeats as often as needed. There is no rushing through to the end. The cycle can be broken, though, through wisdom, detachment, and a memory of the sacred. Basically, a return to oneness. So if you feel like, Capricorn, that you've noticed something repeating for you this week, maybe it is in the physical aspect where you notice that once again, physically, your body isn't where you want it to be. Or maybe it's that you do need to, you've got that one cycle with a friend that keeps coming up and showing itself for you, and you know in your mind, in your heart, in your body, in your soul, in every aspect that it's time to let go, then maybe that's where you can break the cycle this week, Capricorn. It's about ending that repetition, ending that cycle. Now, this is a general reading. Take what works for you, because some of it's going to resonate with all of you. One message might resonate with some of you, but I feel like a very big invitation here for this week is recognizing a repeating cycle that's coming up in your life, and having the soul guts and courage to kind of end that. All right, Capricorn, a week of balance. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button, and I'll be back with you next week. Take care.